Okay, in the other video we talked about how the diminished seventh chords can be resolved using the leading tone resolution. So in the F sharp diminished 7, any of those four notes can behave as the leading tone, and this chord could be resolved to four different keys, major or minor, a half step above any of these four notes. The other thing that you can do, and that late Romantic composers would do, most often Beethoven does this, and so I just call it the Beethoven Resolution. And the Beethoven Resolution is you take any note of the four and you lower it down a half step, and that note becomes the root of a 5-7 chord. So in this case, if you take this chord, which is the 7 diminished 7 in G minor, if you take the F sharp down a half step, so now you have F, A, C, E flat. It looks like a 5-7, and it is, and it would resolve to B flat major or minor. So what was a 7 diminished now becomes 5-7 of a different key. Now you can also do the other three notes the same way. If you take this A and you lower it down a half step, now you have A flat, C, E flat, G flat, but the G flat is down here. So you have A flat, C, E flat, G flat, and it behaves as 5-7 of D flat major or minor. Okay? Take your original chord. What if we take C and drop it down a half step? So now we have F sharp, A, B, D sharp. So this is now the root. This B becomes the root of a 5-7. B, D sharp, F sharp, A, and it would go to E major or minor. Back where we started. F sharp, A, C, E flat. What if we take the E flat and consider it the leading tone and drop it down a half step? It becomes the root of a 5-7. D, F sharp, A, C, and it would go to some kind of G. So in the leading tone resolution, any of those four notes behaves as a leading tone and resolves up to a half step above to some kind of key, major or minor, to a tonic triad. The Beethoven Resolution, titled Beethoven because he does it a lot, is take any of the four notes and drop it down a half step. Whichever one you drop down a half step becomes the root of a 5-7 chord and will resolve as a 5-7 would resolve. The end result is that chord will go to the same place as it would have gone in the leading tone resolutions. So it's kind of an intermediate chord, but we're going to call that the Beethoven Resolution as opposed to the diminished seventh leading tone resolution.